So we worked together on a project actually called Vexlands. And I thought, okay, this is his next project, and we're going to work on this project. And we did actually begin on it, and there's a demo out there, and it's actually doing really well on wish lists and everything. But then he would post on his Twitter, this other little thing he was doing, and it kind of caught our attention, and he never really told us about it, but we saw that he was working on this game, Wizordum, and we were like, what's going on, Primoz? Are you going to self-publish this? Is this like a little side project? And the more we learned about it, the more intriguing it became. And so it was like, well, this is probably something Apogee should be involved with too. So we were so impressed by what he was doing that we decided to also team up with him on this project, and which also includes his brother, Tomas. And so now he's been working on both projects and kind of going back and forth. And now that we're on the stretch run with Wizordum, the team's been really focused on that. And so, we're like a week away from the release of 1.0. But it's just a game that kind of just appeared on our radar kind of accidentally. And the more we saw it, the more impressed we were. So, we knew that he was a great, very super talented developer and would end up making a really cool project. And so we found a way to work together.
Nice. Yeah. Some of the best projects.
He'll give you his side of the story, which will probably be very different. But
so the story behind it is that I was playing like a few years ago. I was replaying Catacomb Abyss. Do you know this game? It's really super old. It came.
Oh yeah, I recognize the influence right away.
Yeah,
with
right.
the dead pet never hail model and everything. I was like, wait a minute, I've seen this before.
Exactly. So, and this game is older than Wolfenstein, right? It came out before the Wolfenstein 3D. So, and I was replaying it because I saw that someone made a port for the game. So I was playing it, and the more I played it, the more fun I had with the game. It is true. It is really basic. It gets boring over time, but the fun concept for me was just running around the mazes, the halls, collecting treasures, and killing all kind of fantasy monsters. From ants to spiders to demons, and I was thinking that we don't get games like that anymore. Now more or less we have really fast-paced games. We have like we don't have casual casual first-person games, right?
Yeah, like more of the adventure kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, we don't have that like 2D plane of movement, like no jumping, exploring mazes, sort of 90s run and gun sort of style.
Exactly, and I'm not saying that is fun, but after playing Catacomb Abyss, I wanted to make a prototype in Unity, just 1-day prototype, just to see if I can get that gameplay done, and I did, and then I left the project for maybe a month. And after some time, I returned. I improved on that concept, and then I posted a short clip on the Twitter, of the gameplay I did.
Yeah.
And that post got like 1,000 likes, and I was like,
wow.
There
was a market there for it.
Yeah, right. Exactly. It's like, I mean, people can't possibly like this, right? I mean, it's what's there to like, right? But then, and I just kept working on it, little by little. I wanted to make a small game out of it, nothing serious, just for fun. And one thing led into another. So from a 1-day prototype, I'm like 2 days away from the release, and that prototype was just for fun, just for playing around in Unity, that's all. So it was somewhere in between maybe that I figured that I could make a commercial product out of it, something that players will like, hopefully, and pay money for it, right?
Yeah. Well, you're certainly in contact with the right
That's
people.
always good.
That's the case.
So yeah, I mean, it went through so many iterations. Like, I don't know how many. So the first title of the game was Abyssenstein, Catacomb Abyss meets Wolfenstein 3. So it was like in the middle of the production that it got the name Wizordum. Yeah, and like in the middle of the development, I was like, my brother and I were doing a lot of modding when we were kids, like for Duke Nukem 3D, for Doom, for Quake 1, Quake 2, you name it, right?
Yeah.
And Tomasz, he was really good at it, much better than I was. And when the Wizarding got more serious, like I asked him if he would be interested in making some levels for it, right? And he did one, and it was amazing. And he was on board, and then it was just uphill. I could focus on the game, and he was focusing on the level design, and it really picked up.
It has brilliant level design. I was playing it at length earlier today, and literally some of it they are so labyrinthine that it's been a while since I've played a game like that, because I'm so used to playing games like some of the Apogee games, Turbo Overkill, of course, is one. It's very much a movementy shooter sort of thing. It's a completely different ball game when you play a game that you're on one plane of existence and you need to navigate, because you have to think about where you've been and how you can get around to get. You can't just jump a fence or something like that.
Exactly.
But Scott, in terms of when you take on a project like this from a more bird's eye point of view, from your perspective, how do you look at a project like this and think, how do I balance giving the developer creative freedom whilst also kind of developing something that I know is going to, turn a profit for the company, and so it can lead on to other bigger, better, wonderful projects?
Yeah, it's I mean, for a lot of projects that we work with other developer teams, where we have 12 projects in production. Half of the projects are basically internally started projects. Half are projects that we're working with an external team, and we're acting as the publisher. So in the case when we're acting as a publisher, we kind of leave the team alone, because the reason we signed the team is because we saw that they had the talent to pull off the project. We saw that they had the vision to make something that was going to be sort of marketable. So for the most part, we leave them alone. We'll throw in some ideas here and there, and for the most part, the ideas that we throw into the basket are ideas that it's up to the developer if they want to use the ideas or not. So it's really just a matter of, we only want to work with people who are making projects who we think know what they're doing already and are going to build something that there's a market for. Yeah. So for the most part, we're pretty hands off. Primos may tell you something different, but that's how we like to think.